Okay, it was a nice idea for an adventure for like 2 seconds. And yeah, that's not gonna happen, bro. Oh, good thing this is a lightweight, tiny little bike. Oh my God. Welcome back. Here we go again. Jumping right into it, today is going to be an adventure and a challenge. Quite frankly, this is something that I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to complete it today or not. Basically, we're traveling out to check out this tiny little ghost town in Sonoma County. And for those of you who don't know, Sonoma County is in Northern California, not far from San Francisco, north of San Francisco. And it's famous for being wine country. There's a lot of vineyards and wine companies out there. But anyway, I found out about this little ghost town in the marshes out there, so I want to go check it out. Now, the difficult part is there's two things. It's probably one of the longer rides I will have done, and the road ends 3.5 miles away from the ghost town, so it'll be a 7-mile hike round trip once I get off the bike. And yeah, with all my gear and stuff, it's gonna be a challenge for sure. It is going to be difficult, but we're giving it a shot, leaving early. Let's see what happens. By the way, this is how I'm doing my directions. Just a piece of paper on the tank. At some point I'll have to invest in some sort of mounted GPS system, but probably not till I upgrade to a bigger bike. Into the morning light. Hi, cows. Here we go onto Highway 37 here. And this is the first little Sonoma highway we're going on. Hopefully we'll be able to keep up. I guess there's just no way to get out to this place without getting on a little bit of highway. Hopefully this doesn't last too long. It is quite jarring on this bike to be going these speeds. And here you go, lots of vineyards, wine companies. You know, it's probably going to be packed with tourists today since it's the weekend. I mean, it's still pretty early and there's this many cars out, so that goes to show you. Now, we're almost there. And this is the tricky part. The road we need to take just comes out of nowhere and it's hard to see. So I gotta be watching for... I just gotta be watching for it. I know what it looks like on Google Maps, but it does come out of nowhere, I think. I think this is it. Yep. Here we go. This is wonderful. I actually don't know if this is the right way. No, I think it is. I think this is the right way. Nice, getting a little off-road action here on the Sim Wolf. Oh yeah. Yep, we're in the right spot. Because this is the Larson family winery. Now this winery's closed right now. They had a fire recently at the beginning of the month, so they're in the middle of repairs. But there's their dogs right there. Hey puppies! Road closed beyond this point. So, I think I'm gonna park it over here. I hope that's okay.
Doggy boy, you're a big boy. You're like a bear. Hey, puppies. Hey. Yes. Okay, so this is where we leave the bike and start hiking out 3.5 miles out into the marshland area, out into the flats out there. And we should be able to find the tiny little ghost town of Wingo. Nothing else to say for now. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, actually, change in plans. I just talked to a guy who's part of the winery in that trailer over there. And he said, go ahead, you can ride down farther. And he said you can cut off about 2 miles. You can ride basically about 2 miles down this road and then park down there at the next gate and then walk from there. But he said, you're fine to park here if you want, or you can ride farther. It looks like a dirt trail. So I don't know if this is a great idea, but we're going to try it. I mean, it's an adventure today, so might as well try. I've never ridden on dirt like this, really. Just go slow. Oh my god, this is not the bike for this type of terrain. If I get a flat tire or something out here, I am screwed. This might be a terrible idea. Alright, we're going for it though. Oh, no. No, dude. There's absolutely no way. This is sand and just straight rock. I think I gotta park and then walk it. This isn't gonna work. Okay, it was a nice idea for an adventure for like 2 seconds. And yeah, that's not gonna happen, bro. Oh, good thing this is a lightweight, tiny little bike. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can ride out of here. Yeah. Should I stand up on the pegs like a real adventure rider? That's funny. I'll park back here. And walk. Okay, back to the original plan of walking. I don't think it's a good idea to ride my bike on that road. Now the dressing for cool weather is paying off. This is what I expected. It's already hot out here. I've been walking for 5 minutes with all this camera gear and backpack and motorcycle gear on me. Yeah, it's gonna be hot and sweaty, and it's gonna be a long 3.5 miles. Beautiful walk though out here in the vineyards. Just tucked away little vineyards back here with this trail. Okay, now it's starting to open up here. And you can see some of what I think is the slough, which drains out into the bay. And here you can see it's starting to get much more open and marshy. This is wild. I did not realize it was going to be like this. It's just literally this tiny little path. There's water, you're surrounded by water. It's so cool. I had no idea it would be like this. Okay, I think once we come up from around this bank here, we will officially be in Wingo. Here we go. Coming up right on the railroad tracks right here. And the old trestle. Welcome to Wingo. So this was the small town of Wingo. Wingo was established in the first half of the 1800s, and it was a popular stop for the paddle boat ferry that took people from San Francisco all the way out here to Sonoma. And back then it was not called Wingo, it was actually called Norfolk. It was an especially popular stop for fishermen and duck hunters. The ferry would stop a little farther up, and then horse-drawn carriages would take people out to Sonoma. Now, the railroad track here in that trestle, it's actually kind of been difficult for me to confirm reliable information about it online, surprisingly. What I do know, though, is that right through here, around this area in the 1870s, an experimental railroad was put in. It was called a prismoidal railroad, I think. But that railroad failed, I think, within a year. After that experimental railroad failed, it was replaced by a more standard two-track railroad system. And I think that's what this track is. Anyway, this was in the early 1900s, and for some reason at that point in time, apparently the railroad company renamed this town from Norfolk to Wingo. And this is all according to an article I saw in a Sonoma magazine, but apparently nobody really knows why it was named Wingo. There are a lot of heavy winds out here, so some people think it might have something to do with the wind, but there is really no confirmed reason as to why this place was named Wingo. So, in 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge opened, and after that, passenger train use and ferry use declined, and Wingo declined with those industries. So a guy just rode up to me on a bike, and he seemed a little bit, I don't know, he was wondering what I was doing around here. So I didn't film it because he seemed a little bit, not annoyed, but he wanted to know what I was doing around here. And I knew that people actually do live out here. People live right in Wingo, essentially. There are still some cabins out here that people live in. And I asked him, and he lives right there. And he wanted to make sure that I was being respectful and not breaking into these old cabins or stealing stuff, because that has become a big problem. Once I told him what I was doing out here, and he seemed to kind of open up and trust me a little bit more. But he told me that people come out here and vandalize these cabins, they break in, they steal stuff, and it's pretty unfortunate. I was looking for the old sign that says Wingo. There's an old sign that used to be on one of these cabins that says Wingo, and it's over 70 years old. And he told me someone came out here, ripped it off, and stole it. So it's pretty sad that people come out here and disrespect this historical site, but interesting little insight into the current situation, I guess you could say. Anyway, got a long walk back, so it's time to turn around and get back to the bike. All right, I'm finally back at the bike. Not gonna lie, that was tough, the walk back with all that weight. I was sweating. My feet are pretty torn up, but I made it, and it was definitely worth it. So Wingo Not exactly a ghost town in the end, but a very interesting place with an interesting history. And if you're going to go visit Wingo, obviously do it respectfully. The people who still live out there care about this place, and it seems to continuously get vandalized. So if you do want to go visit it, I recommend it. Just do it respectfully. Thank you so much for watching. More rides to come. Thanks for joining me.